Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fabulites. I have got questions for you. What opens with Jack being driven by the mama away from Miguel's house to the family? We gonna solve this problem together. And what closes with Jack being driven to an AA meeting by the mama? We gonna solve this problem collectively. If you guessed this is us, season 2, episode 2, you are correct. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and sticking around to see how we get from opening to closing. Let us proceed. So we see Jack and Wifey. I don't know why I don't know her name. We see Jack and I call her Wifey and Mama. Mostly Mama. We see Jack and Wifey in the car. This is when the triplets were teens, and Mama is like, you know, you stopped before, you kicked it before, and you can do it again. And then we see Jack at the office, and stuff is coming at him left and right, and he's reaching for his drink stash, and he poured a brown liquor into his coffee cup. Then we see Jack at the jewelry store. He says, diamonds are for ordinary women. My wife is extraordinary. You know who Mary Tyler Moore is? Farrah Fawcett? He asked the jeweler, and the guy's like, yeah, oh, yeah. He's like, my wife is like those two smashed together times 100. He don't say that. I'm just, you know, putting 20 on 10, as Miss Rocks would say. For is rocks. Rocks would say. Okay, so then we see Jack in the hallway. He on the floor, sitting on the floor. His wife comes out. Jack is like, you know, the drinking stops. For you, I will. I can. He gives her the jewelry. It's the moon. Like, he's giving her the moon. It's like a crescent moon pendant. And this is around when the children were 8 or 10. The kids come out and they jumping on him and stuff. Then the phone rings and he's messed up something at work. And he's watching the kids be, you know, wild kids as kids will be. Excuse me. I'm gonna be back there making noise. Okay. Okay. So then we see the morning of when the children were like 8, 10, they having a talent show. So it's the morning of the talent show. And the Manny, Kevin, is doing his Mr. T impression. He's so proud of his plan for a talent show. And Randall is going to be yo-yoing. And Katie is going to be singing. And the boys are all excited to give Daddy a preview of their talent. And Bug, that's baby girl Katie, she finally sings a little bit of Lean on Me. And Mama gives her a tip. And Katie feels bad after the tip from Mom. Womp womp. But Mama was just trying to help, but Katie don't take it that way. Okay, so then we see that the Manny has been on a strict regimen. This is when they grown, 37, 38, 36, you know. Has strict regimen to get his ab gang tight. And his ex-wife girlfriend Sophie is in the trailer with him, and he's on the Manny set for a special guest appearance for their 100th episode, and the whole family is scheduled to be in attendance. His whole family, it's a big deal for them for this taping. And he's like, you know, I need tonight to go well, and the Manny made me, then the Manny broke me, and you know, I need to prove to everyone that I'm the bigger man, and I need people to love me. And Sophie is like, this is your least attractive side, boo. You know that, right? And he's like, yeah. And then they laugh. Maybe they laugh. It looked like kaput. They laugh, but they probably laugh. Ha, 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 ha. You know, they got a good relationship going. And then we see Randall and his family. They are leaving the house. They are traveling in Beth's words, she say across country for the weekend to see a taping of the least funniest show in the world. So, you know, we have to tell the girls, right? That's what Beth is saying to her husband, that we're going to foster a kid. They need to know. And how come you haven't filled out your forms? We told the social worker that we'd have it to her by the end of the day. And Randall was like, oh, I'll fill mine out on the plane. I promise. It's just so comprehensive, so personal, this form they got to fill out for the social worker in order to be foster parents. And then we see Kate and her fiance. This is when they're 36, 37, 38. You know, they're prepping for Miguel and Mom to arrive. And Kate is like on a slow burn to freak outville. She like, oh my God, I can't believe you're making pics and bakes. Leg. I think we eat pigs and blanket all the time. Blah, blah, blah. And her fiance is like, well, Miguel, you know, y'all sleep on him. We both got the same kind of weird names, and he like pigs in a blanket. I'm making it for him, but I made some cheese, some nut cheese. That must be good for something. He says, we simpatico. He gets no love. I feel his pain. Two swarthy outsiders with exotic names. Miguel is the key to my plan to win over your mom. No, she doesn't think I'm great. She thinks I go around falling through coffee tables. Because he had that heart attack season 1, and he fell through the coffee table, and that led to his proposal to Kate. And Kate is like at level 200. She like, my mom comes in hot. You don't understand. She criticizes me with these seemingly innocuous questions. And then the door knocks, and it's the mom and Miguel. Miguel, Bella, what you looking at so intensely? A squirrel in the tree? Okay, so then we see Kevin and Sophie on the Manny set, and Sophie is like, hey, do your meltdown for me, the one that was on TMZ when you quit. And Kevin is like, no. And then Sophie does her version of it. Miss Thing is shaking over here. I don't know what she's looking at. Then Sophie does her version of it, and she's all big and loud. And then Kevin is like, that's not it. And then he does his version, and he's like bigger and louder, and they're laughing and having a good time. And then the director comes in, and it's like, we were picking. And then the director is like, oh, so I see we picking up where we left off. You know, he don't really think it's all that funny. And then Kevin is like, well, you know, I'm here to serve. You know, I don't have any notes. I love what you did. I'm here for love. The script is good. You know, I see y'all got a black nanny. That's really good, especially in these perilous times. The show is doing well. You know, blah, 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 blah. And the director is like, I'm going to my office. Okay, so then we see Jack and his colleague. This is back in the time when the children were 8, 10-ish, you know, 8, 12, 10, whatever. Jack and his colleague are in the boss's office, and while they're leaving, the colleague is like, oh my God, that was brutal. I need a drink. What you say, liquid lunch? And Jack is like, nah, I got some calls to catch up on. See, he in an environment where people drink. And then he gets into his car and he goes to an AA meeting. Then he stands in the back of the room and then he leaves. Okay, so then we see the 8 or 10-year-old Sophie on the playground. It's the day of the talent show. Kevin he walks up to, you know, and he's like, hey, Sophie, you want to see my talent? It's going to blow your minds tonight. And then we see Kate is sitting off alone on the playground. She's writing in a notebook and she's practicing Lean on Me. And then her dad drives up and he blows the horn and she runs to him. She sees him. That's her daddy. And then he's like, I needed to see you, Katie girl. Get in. And then we see the mama, she's in her closet and she finds a dress and she's doing alterations on the dress. And as she's doing them, she's humming, Lean on Me. And then we see Kevin on the nanny set with his family. And, you know, it's like the gang's all there and he's giving them a tour. He's excited. I can't believe you guys came all this way just for this. And he's leaving his family to go get ready. And when he gets the pink pages, there were some last minute changes to the script to the final scene. Then we see Katie and her daddy in the car. This is when he's on his lunch break and she was on her lunch break. And he like, you know, you excited about the talent show? Well, you know, what's that face? You love to sing. And Kate is like, yeah, you know, Mom, she sometimes makes it feel like a job, you know, sometimes. And Jack is like, she's just trying to make you better. And Kate is like, yeah. Dad, is everything okay at work? And Jack is like, yeah, it's just sometimes my boss has a way of making it feel like a job. He is on a job, she not. And then she takes her little hands and she puts them on either side of her daddy's face. It's all sweet. Oh, she says it's going to be okay. And then their lunch breaks are over. He go back to work, she go back to school. Then we're on the set of The Nanny. It's like the pre-show. The hype man is out there. Hey, it's the pre-show. Have y'all ever been to a pre-show? Good, this is the best pre-show ever then. Blah. And Beth is like, Randall, you've been avoiding these forms. Now we have some time. You can fill them out right now. And then baby girl is like, what are you guys doing? And Mama's like, oh, just bills. And Randall is like, oh, I need to walk. And then Beth follows him as Kate gets a phone call. Then Beth is like, what why do these forms have you randling out so hard? And then Randall was like, it's question number 14. I know you put yes to everything, but what makes you think we can handle that? You know, if we've got lucky so far, you know, how can we handle a kid who has serious problems? We had good kids. Maybe we're biting off more than we can chew. And then Beth is like walking off. She like, are you serious? Like, mother, you know what? She just walk off. Then we see Kate and her fiance, and she gets to she gets to fill in for the singer in the band. She had sent her demo tape in. The singer is sick, and so she's getting to fill in. And so it's her first gig. She's excited. She's going to the sound check. And then the mom is like, oh, sound check? Oh, I remember my first gig. Blah, 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 and when I sang, blah, blah, blah. And Kate is like, oh, you used to sing? And everybody knows she used to sing. So it's kind of like, she's like, it's kind of like a tense type situation. And then Kate is like, no big deal. I'll run. You guys stay. Like, you know, I'm sorry I said that. No big deal, you know. So she leaves. Then we see a flashback to Jack. It's about 5 p.m. He reaching to get his drink out of the drawer. That's his regular routine. He puts some drink in his alcohol in the morning. He puts some alcohol in his coffee cup in the morning, and he probably go for it at lunchtime for the liquid lunch. Then he gets some more right after work at 5 o'clock. But anyway, he reach in, and then he gets his brown liquor, and he throw it in the garbage. Then he shows up at a boxing rink. Then we see the Manny is filming, and Mama is there, and I guess Miguel. I got Manuel here, but this must be Miguel. Then his ex-wife, girlfriend, is her name Sophie? Then the fiance, then Randall's little girls, and they're laughing. And Kevin is stressed about the changes that are coming. He's telling his girlfriend he feels like it's designed to humiliate him. And then his fiance, Kate's fiance is trying to bond with Kate's mom, but it's very awkward. And then he's like, I gotta go to the show. This is Kate's first real gig. And then the mom is like, I'm going too. And he's like, okay, he don't really know what to do. Then we see the mama and Katie. This is when Katie was like 9 or 10. And she's, you know, Katie is all excited because her mama has altered the dress. She says, it's the first dress that I wore when I ever performed, and I was really nervous. And you're performing for the first time, you're going to be nervous, and I altered it for you to wear. Are you excited? And baby girl Katie is like, yes, I'm so excited. And her mom is like, okay, you go try it on. I'm going to go take a shower. And the girl goes to try it on, and she's really, really excited after she tries it on. Then she's running into the bathroom. Mom! And her mom is in the shower, and her mom is singing, lean on me when you're not strong. And Katie is deflated. And then we see Randall. He's following behind Beth. This is back in California when they 37, 38, 36 years old. And he's like, hear me out, please. I think you're being reckless. And Beth is like, you wanted to adopt. And Randall was like, a fresh slate baby, not no grown child that got issues. Like I was. I want a fresh baby like I was, a new baby. And Beth is like, we gonna table this till we get home. I'm walking. I'm not here for this. I'm not talking to you. Then we see the mama and Kate in the audience of the talent show, and we find out this is when Kate was 8 or 12, or a little girl, and this is the talent show. She's got a sore throat, she claims, but she just got intimidated by her mother, and it made her feel bad, and she didn't feel good about singing, so she not singing, and she lied and said she had a sore throat. Then we see Katie. She like 37, 38 years old now, and she's about to perform, and she sees her fiance, and she's kind of like, oh. And then she sees her mom joining the audience, and it's kind of like, oh. And then she sings, and then her mama is shushing somebody in the audience. Hush, the child is singing now. And then we see Jack. He's boxing at the gym, and he is punching, and we hear Kate today, 37-year-old Kate, singing at her first gig. And it's kind of like they're both pushing through. He pushing through the alcohol. She's singing, she pushing through her feelings about her mama. It's like they pushing through together. Then we have a flashback of the 8 or 10-year-old Kate and her mom. Then we have a flashback of Kevin on the stage at the talent show, and he's bombing. His Mr. T impression is you know, it's not good. But Kevin is looking at his 10 or 12-year-old girlfriend, wannabe girlfriend, Sophie, I think her name is. And, you know, and she's laughing, and it's like she's the only one laughing, but she's the only one that matters. And then we see Kevin today, and he's on the Manny set in diapers, and the audience is cracking up, and he looks at his ex-wife girlfriend, the Sophie one, and she's smiling, and it's kind of like he can go on because she's smiling, and then she's laughing. She's not the only one laughing this time, but once again, it's like she's the only one that matters. And then we're still... And then we see Kate, 37 years old. You know, she's still singing. We see a flashback of Jack slugging it out at the gym. Then we see Jack flashing back to him watching his father drink. Then we see a military disembarking from a plane, some military folks. So I'm thinking it's a flashback of his dad, you know, with his issues. Then we see Jack arriving, rushing into the talent show. I don't know if he got to see Kevin perform or not, but we see Katie, 37 years old today. She finishing her song. And then we see, oh, it's a cat in the yard. And then we see Beth, and she's in Kevin's trailer, and Kevin is like, whoa, and Beth is like, sorry, I saw your name. You know, Randall is driving me crazy. We're adopting, well, fostering, but now he's freaking out. Like we are not up to it, like he's second guessing it. And Kevin is like, well, you know, my brother only attempts things when he knows he'll succeed. And, you know, she's kind of like, yeah. And he realizes she don't really know that about him. And so he's like, there was this one time in college when he met this bad-butted, dreadlocked girl who was 17 times out of his league, with his nerdy league. And let's be honest, and we realize that he's talking about Beth when Randall met Beth. And he, you know, Beth is like, he was so nervous, he made me sweat. And Kevin basically goes on to tell the story. And in the telling of the story, we find out at the same time that Beth finds out that Randall was coached through the whole beginning of their relationship by Kevin. He didn't really have the words to say. He didn't really have the nerve to talk to her, but that Kevin had helped him to do that. And Kevin also coached Randall through his first phone call, at least with Beth. And, you know, Kevin is like, that's the only time in my brother's life when he actually risked failure. The only time. And you know how scared he was. And then Beth leaves. It's like she's learned something new about her husband. Then we see Katie finishing up her gig. This is the 37-year-old Katie. Her mom hugs her, and Kate is looking at her boyfriend like kind of mad over her mom's shoulder. And then Kate is like, you overcompensate for me. I sang incredibly beautifully. Like, you can't just say it was incredible or it was beautiful. It's got to be incredibly beautifully. It's the best song in the whole wide world. You overcompensate. Like, I'll never be you. You make me feel like I'm a little kid, like I'm not good enough, and I'll never be enough. You know, you wanted a daughter like you who was beautiful and perfect, had perfect pitch, and this is the same thing that always happens. We end up arguing. I say something to you that I feel bad about, and you feel bad about it. And this is going to be my memory of my first gig. And I'm going to the car. They kind of had an argument to the point where the mother is like, well, I can't really say nothing mean to you, meaner than what you said to me. And then the mama says to the fiance who was watching, who's like, and the mama is like, is it me? And the fiance is like, you know, look, I'm Team Kate. Period, and for life. So that's the deal. What you two, I want you to like me, you know, but I'm not going to side with you, even though I want you to like me. I'm Team Kate forever. And that's how this works. There's an awkward, let's go on to the awkward car ride. And then Kate's fiance's mom, I'm sorry. Then Kate's mom is like, you know, I like your fiance. That's what she says to Kate. And then we see Randall with his daughters, and Kate walks up and she jumps into his arms and she kisses him. And she's like, our girls are good. We made them great. You and I can do anything. And Randall was like, I know. It's such a sexy scene. I don't know how they did it. And then Beth is like, you let your brother listen in the first time time we talked? And Randall was like, I did. And then Beth is like, you're crazy. And then Randall is like, I am. And then he says, girls, mommy and daddy want to talk to you about something. And then we see Jack and the mama, and, you know, she's laying in the bed, and Jack is on the edge of the bed, and then the mama is sitting up, and she's like, hi. And Jack is like, you know, I kept it to myself the last time, but it can't be like that again. And then the mama is like, I know. And then we see the teenage Kate in her room, and Daddy Jack comes in, and the teenage Kate is like, you and mom okay? Did the queen admit you back into her castle? And Jack is like, Kate, you know, look, you know, you don't know everything. I know you think you do know everything, but, you know, I'm going to talk to your brothers, but there's something that I need to tell you. I'm going to tell you first. I have a drinking problem. My father had a drinking problem. I didn't want you to know that about me, but you have to know. And then Kate puts her hands on her father's cheeks like she did when she was a little girl that day that we saw. It might have been a pattern they had their whole life. We don't know. And then Jack is like, you know, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't want to disappoint you. I have to be honest, and I need you guys. Oh, I'm like tearing up now. It was such a beautiful, touching scene with her. It was so sweet. And then we see the mama driving Jack to an AA meeting. And then that's the end. This is us. Woo! We loved it. Like, comment, subscribe. Working on 200 subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being you. If you are currently a subscriber, a brand new subscriber, welcome back. And I love you to pieces and back whole again. And if you are new to watching me, thank you for watching and tuning in. And if you're regularly watching, thank you for watching and tuning in too. And today is the best day ever. Be you, be fabulous, you. Peace.